Now on Spreaker Online Radio and via YouTube, it is time for afternoon cricket commentary. For the teams, the latest score and descriptions of play, let's join Matthew James Erskine.
Hello and welcome back here to Lanchester Cricket Club at Ashley Park. And we've been off for about an hour, and thankfully we're back on and we've got play here now. So Tyne have taken up the chase. They'd need 259 to win this match. They've had one over of the replies so far, and it's 6 for no wicket. So 253 still needed, and there was 4 balls bowled by Aaron Halliday before that rain interruption. Well, not just rain, thunder and lightning and everything else that went with it. But the breeze has now dropped here. Now it's going to be Greg Halliday to bowl round the wicket to Parker from the top end, and he comes towards us and bowls, and that one shapes into Parker, the left-hander, and he just defends it down into the ground, and it runs out onto the leg side across to our right. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-3 in favour of the offside, the field. And Parker plays to the better side for runs here through square leg, and he's going to get 2 for that. So he's off the mark. There was a couple of wides in the first over from Aaron Halliday, so 2 more to the total there, brings the gap now down now to 251. And it will be Greg Halliday, right arm over the wicket, right arm round the wicket. He's coming around the wicket towards us to Parker, who's forward and defends, and it's picked up there by Brinton, who's in a close mid-wicket, and there's no run. So we've got bright sunshine now. All that grey cloud has moved away, and everybody drifting back outside from the clubhouse here, apart from the 1 or 2 voices you might be able to hear. Halliday bowls a full toss this time, and it's driven, and that's a nice diving stop in extra cover there. So we've got 1 slip, a backward point, an orthodox point who's quite deep next to the square leg umpire. We've got a cover, we've got a mid-off, a mid-on, a backward square leg and a mid-wicket. Halliday to Parker, who comes forward and just plays at that, then takes the bat out the way. There's a good length there, aimed in at the off stump from Halliday. And it went through to Potts, the wicketkeeper. He scored 63 in the Lanchester innings as we watch Halliday bowl to Parker, and he's chipped this one through the leg side, and they're going to get another single. Just to the right of backward square leg there, which allowed the ball to run past the fielder before it was collected, and that's the end of the second over, and 1 from the last ball now. 250. The gap, the winning margin has come down to for Tyne, and it's 9 for no wicket with Parker and Kant at the crease. And we haven't got an update. We have no batsman scores on the scoreboard here at Ashley Park, so we'll wait till we get an update on our electronic scorecard here. Just updated once again, but who are we going to have now who's going to bowl from this top end? Just having a look. Or we're going to have I've just been shouted through the window here, it's going to be Cal Barnes who's going to come on to bowl at this top end. Our end here, left arm spin bowler. 21 wickets so far this season for Lanchester, and he's going to bowl over the wicket now to the left-handed Parker. Drifts one on the off stump, and Parker's forward and shapes the plate, but he doesn't get anything on it, and Potts takes it behind the stumps there. Changing the field here, short fine legs come in to slip. Parker in, and that one was drifting away from the left-hander. It was on about middle and off there. Started on about middle and drifted away, and it was a full ball, and it was just pushed back to Barnes. In he goes again. Another one flighted nicely outside the off stump this time, and he's driven it this time, Parker, and he's going to get 4 for it. A nice low drive out to the right hand of extra cover there, past the right hand, and away it whistled over to the woods there for 4 runs. So 13 for no wicket now, and the gap comes down to 246, with all 10 still remaining here for Tynedale. And good evening if you've joined us here on Speaker Internet Radio on Cricket West Tyne programme. You're more than welcome to listen to our first broadcast of the evening here, and we could be in for quite a long one because we've had an hour off for rain from 5 until 6. But the overs just don't change as Barnes bowls again now, and Parker just again defends this one out to extra cover, and there's no run. So we can go on till 8:30 is the latest, as another one's flighted nicely in towards off stump there from Barnes, and there's no run again. It's just pushed out, and Halliday trots in to pick up, and Barnes bowls a faster one this time outside the off stump, and it's driven again, but it's going to be fielded out there on the cover boundary this time, and Parker just takes a single. So that's the end of the third over, and it's 14 for no wicket Tynedale. 245 now the difference for the winning margin here. But Josh Renton 4 for 35 in the Tynedale when he was bowling for Tynedale. 126 partnership between Halliday and Brinton, and Halliday and Potts, I beg your pardon, and Brinton also got his 50 as well at the start of the innings, as did Halliday and Potts. They both got 50s too. But here's Greg Halliday about to come in to bowl to Parker, who plays this one between point there and extra cover for 1, and it's picked up now and thrown in, so another one to the total there, brings the margin down to 244. 15 for no wicket Tynedale. And here's Halliday again. Now he's changed to over the wicket now to cant the right hand, and the sight screen's on the move at that top end. It's fixed now. Here's Halliday. Trundles up, bowls, and there's Cant on the back foot and drives it away, and it's out towards the boundary, but it's fielded quickly there, and there's no run. Fielded in the covers. Now here's Halliday again. We're watching Halliday come into bowl to Tom Cant with 1 slip, and that's played to the leg side this time. Fielded in there by Barnes at close mid-wicket. So we've got 1 slip, a mid-wicket, a square leg, a mid-on, a mid-off, an extra cover, a deep cover, and a backward point as well. So here comes Halliday again now, bowling to Cant, and that one kept low, and Cant had to jam the bat down on it there, and it's played out there into the covers again where it's fielded quickly. And there's no run to Tynedale. It's still 15 for no wicket. This is the 4th over. And here's Halliday again. Moves up to bowl to Cant. Full on middle and leg, and Cant just turns this one behind square, but it's fielded straight. It went straight at the fielder there, and it's picked up. And there's no run, so Cant not in a rush here. And Halliday moves into bowl again. Cant just plays this one from his crease and pushes it back onto the offside, where Brinton picks up at extra cover there, and there is no run, and that's the end of the 4th over. And now it's Tynedale 15 for no wicket, and they're still 244 short of the target, with all 10 wickets still in hand here. Now here's Barnes to continue, the left arm spinner. He's going to have a slip, a mid-off, a mid-on, as an ambulance whizzes past out towards Durham on the back road there, and that one's bowled, and Parker just lets that one run off the face for a single out towards deep third man there, and they come through, and it's added to the total. So 16 for no wicket now, 243 the gap's down to, and it's Cant who is asking for the sight screen to be changed here. And, a couple of the Tynedale lads just move it across at our end here. So Barnes is going to go between umpire and stumps to bowl this one. Right around the wicket to Cant, who drives, and it goes straight to mid-off there, and there is no run. That's the captain McPhail with his beer towel in his pocket, just drying the ball there. As in goes Barnes again, and that one's pitched on middle and leg, and Cant's forward and defends it back down the pitch. And again there's no run. Barnes quickly back now, on the way again. Here's Cant, who drives high and over Barnes and straight, and it goes for 4 down the pitch here, and it crosses the line. So 4 to the total and 4 to Cant, and that takes the total now to 20 for no wicket, and the margin of victory comes down to 239. And Cant will perhaps know he's got to get on with it slightly here. As in goes Barnes again around the wicket. Cant drives a full ball this time, and the pace of it's beaten Taylor, who's in hot pursuit up towards the long off boundary. Picks up now, and Cant has got himself 2 runs there. So 22 for no wicket now. The gap comes down to 237. 237 to win for Tynedale. And there'll be 45 overs at least to do it in. But then time may come into it as Barnes bowls a flatter ball this time and he's forward, and there was 2 noises there. Bat and pad together, and it ricochets out onto the offside, but safe enough for Cant there, and Barnes finishes the over. And now he heads off towards his fielding position. So after 5 overs of the reply here, Tynedale needing 259 to win at 22 for no wicket. Cant and Parker up there at the crease, and they still need another 237. And Parker now is going to take the strike at our end here, and it's going to be Greg Halliday again, who's coming in to bowl with a forward short leg there, and that's down the leg side, and that'll come up here for 4 byes, one would assume. Yes, it crosses the line now, just in front of us, outside our window here, just to the left of the bonny coloured pot of flowers there. We've got, what have we got? Purple and pink and orange and yellow and red. And the ball's back in up there now, so 26 for no wicket with that 4 byes added on there. So 233 now for Tynedale to win, or 10 wickets for Lanchester to take. In comes Halliday again, bowls on the off stump this time, and Parker's forward and shapes to drive it, but again just pushes it out there, plays safely enough, and the ball's picked up by Taylor there, who moved to his right from deep mid-off. Halliday again now bowls to Parker, and there's an edge, and it's between wicketkeeper and first slip for 4 runs. And first slip, the massive dive there to his right, just couldn't take it, just past the fingertips. So Parker edges one through for 4, and that takes the score now to 30 for no wicket Tynedale, and the gap has come down to 229 to win for the visitors here this afternoon. So here we go. Here's Halliday again now bowling to Parker, who's forward to a full ball this time and defends it out there again into extra cover, where it's Barnes who picks it up, and there's no run. Taylor just pops up a little catch to Halliday, who gives the ball a good polish now. Here he comes, sturdily approaches the wicket and bowls, and there's Parker, who just plays this one down to Brinton there. One bounce into the hands of Brinton there, just short of a forward short leg position, very close in though, about 8 yards I would say from the batsman. On to the right here, 1 slip as well, bowls down the leg side again, Halliday, and that one just drifts into the leg side, and there's no run, and that's the end of Halliday's over. Greg Halliday, that is. He marches off to take up his fielding position somewhere on the it'll be the leg side for Cant. So 30 for no wicket Tynedale, 229 they need to win here on what has turned back into a gorgeous afternoon here up in County Durham, here at Lanchester Cricket Club. And here's Barnes to take up the attack. So we've got a slip, a backward point, an orthodox point, an extra cover, a deep cover, a mid-off and a mid-on, as the first one's just pushed back to him by Kant. We've got a mid-wicket in there as well, and a square leg across to the right. But here's Barnes, and he goes and bowls. Kant comes down the pitch and tries to drive it, but doesn't get much on it, and the ball skittles off onto the offside there, and Barnes moves across to pick it up, and he does so, and there's no run. Barnes quickly back into position here. Looks like he's just maybe had a short back and sides haircut recently, and he's dropped it. A cordon ball chance there, and it's down. Kant drove it just about a foot off the ground, and Barnes nearly took it, but he couldn't. He's back quickly to bowl again now. Bowls a sweep shot from Kant, and the ball races away up towards the long leg boundary, and umpire Aslam signals 4. So Barnes has another ball left here, and it's now 34 for no wicket to Tynedale. It was very nearly 1 wicket down there. Cordon ball chance from Barnes, but 225 now. The gap is down to 34 for no wicket Tynedale. In goes Barnes again, and bowls and cants forward and defends this one. High left elbow there, batting pad, and it goes out along the ground where Greg Halliday picks it up there, close at mid-wicket. Now Barnes again, moves forward, bowls to Kant, who comes forward and drives, but he doesn't direct that one beyond the fielder there. It rolls straight out along the ground, is picked up at deep mid-off, and there's no run, and that's the end of Barnes over. So Tynedale needing 259 or 34 for no wicket, with a deficit of 225 to win this match, and we'll have the 8th over about to start. So 43 overs in which to do it, but we've been off for an hour's rain here, an hour's delay with thunder and lightning and rain, but we've got the bright sunshine, so 8:30 we can go till tonight as Parker drives this first one from a low drive that time from Halliday, and it goes up to Taylor there at deep mid-off. Now here comes Halliday again now. Bowls, Parker plays away to the leg side, and it just strikes his pad there, and it goes out to square leg, and there's no run. So here's Halliday again, moves forward now, and he drives a full ball that time from Halliday, but it goes straight to the fielder there, Barnes, in at extra cover. And here's Halliday again, quickly back to his mark. They're getting on with it here. Lanchester bowls, and that's a good length right on the stumps, and Parker can only defend this one out to mid-on. That's Stewie McPhail, the Lanchester captain, who won the toss today and elected to bat. 258 for 7 Lanchester in their first innings. Halliday moves in again and bowls. That one's kept off his stumps and played from the crease by Parker that time, and it goes out to Barnes there at extra cover, and there's no run again, so we've still got 1 slip, a backward point, an orthodox point, and an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, and a forward short leg. Wide of the off stump this time, and Parker goes to cut that one away, but he misses it, and Potts takes it behind the stumps, or indeed he manages to stop it, and that was a maiden over there from Halliday. Still 34 for no wicket and 225 the deficit here, with all 10 still standing, Tynedale. And it's going to be Barnes to take up the attack again, as usual here. And he's just about to set in for his next ball. Here he goes now. Just having to stand up here to see over the heads of some of the spectators out in front of the clubhouse here. In between umpire and stumps to ball around the wicket to Tom Kant, the right-hander, and he defends this one back down the pitch, and the ball just runs quietly onto the offside, and Barnes trots forward and picks it up. Now here's Barnes again, bowling to Kant. Drive, a low drive this time from Kant into the offside to the right, and McPhail runs to his left to pick it up, and meanwhile the Batsmen have come through for one run there. Kant gets another single, and that takes the deficit now down to 2-2-4. And the score is at 35 for no wicket, Tynedale. They need 259 to win. Over the wicket now, Barnes to Parker, the left-hander, and there's a little bit of a mix-up there, but the batsmen don't take the run into mid-wicket. But Parker gets the ball back now. I beg your pardon, Barnes. It's Parker who's batting as Barnes bowls again. Parker's forward. Tidally defends that one off his stumps, and it moves into the leg side where it's picked up quickly by Potts from behind the stumps, and there is no run. Barnes quickly back now. Here he is, bowling to Parker. Faster one this time on about middle and leg, and it's played away to the left hand side of square leg that time, forward of the umpire there, and they get one. Parker just moves through, and there's one ball left in the over here. For the right-handed Kant, the sight screen gets moved again. 36 now, the score, 36 for no wicket. Barnes bowls to Kant again, who just moves this one out to the leg side. Nice tidy piece of play there, stood right across it and just played it off his legs for a single, and that's the end of the over. And the score goes to 237. The score is 37 for no wicket, and the gap now is 222 for Tynedale to win. 2-2-2 for Tynedale to win here. It's going to be Greg Halliday again to bowl. Can sit back down now. We've lost our spectators in front of us here. Now the side screen at the far end's in position. In comes Halliday towards us, over the wicket to Kant, and that's down the leg side, and it's turned round the corner. There's a chase on here. It's running up towards to the left of the scoreboard, but it's not going to get there. It's picked up now and thrown in, and Kant comes through for a couple of runs there, and the score goes to 39. 220 now the gap for Tynedale to win this match. Kant now, one slip in place. Halliday bowls. Kant comes forward, and that one, he didn't quite get to the pitch then. It took a thick edge and ran away through the gully up towards the third man boundary, and it's fielded, and Kant goes through for a single, and he goes up to the far end, and the score goes to 40 for no wicket, Tynedale. 219 now as Halliday is in again and bowls, and Parker's forward and hits that one up towards Taylor there at wide mid off, and it goes along the ground, and Taylor picks it up and throws the ball back there to Halliday. Now he's in again, past the umpire and bowls, and that one's turned off his legs, I think, that time, up for 4 runs. No, must have been a little bit of bat in that one. So a nice little flick off his shins there from Parker. So 4 more to the total, and the score goes to 44 for no wicket, and the margin comes down now to 215 for Tynedale to win. 215. Halliday's in again, a little faster, and that's a nice shot, but it's fielded there at backward point. It was lent on it late then, timed it nicely. Parker had fair shot across the turf, but it was fielded well. So no run there. Now Halliday moves in again and bowls. It's full this time, and Parker doesn't time a drive, and it's straight to Barnes there in the covers, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. And Tynedale needing 259 to win, or 44 for no wicket after 10. And they still need another 215 to win. And they're running about even with Lanchester. After 10 overs, where Lanchester were 41 for 1. So slightly behind on runs and slightly behind on wickets as well. Now we've got a delay in play. We've got somebody else walking behind the bowler's arm here. There's a lady just walking behind the side screen here. She'll make her way over in her own good time. And there's a lurcher with him as well, and there's the next one from Barnes. He just bowls up to Kant, who pushes it back to him along the ground, and there's no run. Barnes now moves in away from us here. Round the wicket he goes, the left-hander, and that's driven for one up towards Brinton there, who's in the deep cover position over by the houses, across to the left. And there's one run there to Cant and to Tynedale. 45 now the score, 45 for no wicket, and 214 now the gap is down to the winning margin for Tynedale. Parker now faces up to Barnes. That's full, and he just jams the bat down under his just in front of his toes there, and the ball skittles out there to Greg Halliday in it, short extra cover. In goes Barnes again, and that was a quicker one. Skidded on, went through it about just below the knee there, but Parker was equal to it. He just got the bat under it and managed to keep it out. Barnes again with the ball. In he goes, loops one up, and there's an edge and a brilliant catch there in the slips. He drove at it, flighted up, and it just died on him there. Did the ball for Parker. He saw the flight of it. It went above the eye line. He came forward, he drove, it took the slightest of edge, and a nice, brilliant, in fact, diving, left-handed dive there to take the ball with both hands in the slips from the Lanchester fielder. So Tynedale lose their first wicket at 45, and it's Barnes who's got it. He takes his first wicket and Lanchester's. And the score, as I say, is at 45. The first wicket goes down, 45 for 1 Tynedale, and they still need 214 to win here, and we've lost the sun, which is a little bit worrying. I don't know, the clouds have seemed to have got a lot darker overhead as they make their way out here. But here we go, we'll fit in another 2 or 3 overs here to see where we're going, and then we'll have a little break here on Cricket West Tyne, and we'll be back in no time at all with more coverage here as this match progresses. And the new batsman Ollie Fletcher in for Tynedale, the right-hander, and he defends his first ball from Barnes, and he picks it up, and Barnes will get a pat on the back here at the end of that one. And that was the end of the 11th over, I think that one was. 45 for 1 Tynedale, chasing 259 to win. They still need another 214 at this moment in time. So it's going to be Halliday to continue. He's going to have an orthodox offside field, a deep cover in place for Cant here, a backward point, an extra cover, a deep mid off, a deep mid on, a slip, a mid-wicket and a square leg. Here's Halliday, moves in to Cant, down the leg side this time, and all Cant can do is play that one out to the leg side, and Barnes fields it in at mid-wicket there, and there's no run. Now the ball's back with Halliday at that top end again, and he comes towards us. The stocky figure, the broad chest of Halliday moves up now and bowls, and that's a lovely line there right on off stump, and Cant comes forward and defends it out to Brinton, and the ball runs up there to the big fella in the covers. He picks it up and throws it back to Halliday, who moves up again, leg stump this time, and Cant just turns it into mid-wicket. It was full. Had a bit of wobble in the air there, just moving, started away down the leg side in the air and just came back on the middle and leg there as Cant played that shot. So here's Halliday again. He bowls a little shorter this time, and it bounces down the leg side, and there's an appeal for LBW there. Maybe it just feathered the pads, but umpire Aslam says no. He's standing with his hands in front of his waist there. So one slip as Halliday bowls a full ball, and it's driven square this time from Cant, and they're going to get one. A little misfield there in at cover or cover point, and it runs all the way out to the cover boundary where it's fielded just before it crosses and thrown in. So another one to the total there, 46. 213 now to win for Tynedale, on 9 wickets for Lanchester to take here. Now here's Halliday again, just gets ready to bowl this next one. Up he comes and bowls to Fletcher this time, who's forward and just defends it out square again. It just runs behind square that time on the offside, across to the right, and it's picked up in the backward point area there, and that's the end of the over. So at the end of that one, the end of the 12th, it's Tynedale who are needing 259 to win, or 46 for 1. They still need another 213. And it's Kant who's still there, 16. And the man out is Parker. Caught Crooks in the slip. A lovely catch there from Sam Crooks. That was bowled by Callum Barnes, and Parker went for 19. And it's going to be Barnes to take up the attack now to Tom Kant. He moves away from us, and Kant just defends it slightly onto the leg side. And it's picked up by Barnes, the bowler. 1 for 20 so far, Barnes. And he goes and bowls, and Kant defends another one off middle and leg, and it rolls out there, and it's picked up by Greg Halliday, who runs in from mid-wicket. Barnes again now bowling to Tom Kant. Kant's forward and drives, but doesn't time, and it goes straight along the ground there to Taylor in at extra cover, who stops it, and it bounces up off his hands there, and he moves forward and throws the ball back to Barnes. Barnes again to Kant. Sweep shot, and there's a chance of a catch, and he's caught on the deep mid-wicket boundary. A pull drive there, got right, didn't get on top of it, couldn't keep it down, and Kant is gone in the 13th over, and Tom Kant, 16, not out. He's gone, caught on the deep mid-wicket, deep square boundary, and he's gone. And it's the second wicket for Barnes. So Barnes in jubilant fettle here. The second wicket falls at 46. And Tynedale still 213 adrift here of victory. So we've got the new batsman in for Tynedale. It's Jamie Crichton. And he moves up there to the far end to take up the strike. He's a right-hander. And he's just taking his guard off umpire Aslam there. 317 runs this season. Best score of 71, 250s in the league, that is. And here's Barnes, who goes in to bowl to him first ball, and he comes forward and defends it. Back down the pitch, and there's no run. And Barnes picks it up quickly. Really, he has done for a few years now. He motors through his overs, does Carl Barnes, and he goes again and bowls to Crichton, who plays between the gap there between point and extra up to Brinton at deep cover, and Crichton gets off the mark. And is that the end of the over? It is. One off the last ball there, and the score goes to 47 for no wicket Tynedale after 13, and that means they're still 212 away from victory, and they've lost 2 quick wickets there. Both Kant and Parker have gone. The 2 opening batsmen there, so we've got 2 relatively new fellas at the crease now. We've got Ollie Fletcher up at the non-strikers end, and Jamie Crichton down here at the strikers end at our end here, and it's going to be Greg Halliday to take up the attack. But for now, I'll leave you with that, with Tynedale at 47 for 2, still 212 behind here to win this match. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the next spell of commentary here on Spreaker Internet Radio. So do keep in touch, keep your smartphones handy, or your PC or your laptop, or iPad or tablet. You can listen to us all them ways wherever you can get an internet connection. But we'll be back in at 6:45 here on Spreaker Internet Radio and the Cricket West Tyne programme for more coverage of this match. But until 6:45, I'll speak to you again then.